Hey everyone, Kaylee, your friendly neighborhood hairstylist here, and today we're talking all about blonde hair care. So it's no secret, my hair is blonde and I do a whole lot to it, and you guys want to know, how do we keep it healthy in that process of going blonder and styling it? How does my hair not fall out? Let's talk about it. I want to go into it today. Like, you can Google how to take care of blonde hair and get the same 10 tips in 10 different articles. No, like, let's talk about it. I want to talk about what actually happens to your hair when you lighten it and how you can correct all of those individual things and give you all my tips and tricks along the way. And I hope this is super duper duper helpful. If you're into this, don't forget to hit the like button to help support my channel. And if you're new here, you can always hit that subscribe button to join the Braidaholic family here on Kaylee and Melissa. That being said, let's talk some blonde hair care. So first, let's talk about what happens when you lighten your hair. I think it's nice to talk through the process because, like, first of all, we hardly ever think about it, but also it does cause specific areas of concern, and that way we can talk about how to address those specific areas of concern. So, hair science. So let's zoom in on one little hair strand and talk about what happens when you bleach it. First, your hair has kind of an outer armor that's called the cuticle. It's lots of little shingles that lay over each other, kind of like this. And for a chemical to do anything to your hair color, it actually has to get through the cuticle and into your cortex, which is where things like your hair's protein and fat and color are held. So in order to do that, the very first thing that happens is that the cuticle layers raise. So instead of being flat shingles, they open up like so, and then little bleach can come through here to do its work. Once the bleach is inside the hair, it's going to start working on the melanin in your hair. And everybody's hair is made up of two different kinds of melanin. You have pheomelanin, which is in charge of dark brown and black, and eumelanin, which is in charge of red and yellow. And everybody has some mixture of the two. Bleach is gonna work first on pheomelanin. So if you have much darker hair, it has to get through that before it can get to anything else. Next, it starts to work on eumelanin, which are the orange and red colors. Once you've reached your desired level, then the bleach is typically washed out. It's one of the reasons why it's good to have a professional doing this, because they can keep an eye on when it needs to come off for the sake of your hair and the color you're going for. And then another product should be applied over top, whether it's a deep conditioner or a gloss or a toner that helps to seal the cuticle back down to enhance the health of the hair as much as possible. But another thing that also happens while the bleach is in your hair is that it does typically break down some of the fats in your hair, and it does also break down some of the proteins. Whew, so it does a whole lot while it's there, huh? I wanted to bring up the mix of eumelanin and pheomelanin because I wanted to kind of hit on the different lightening stages your hair goes through. So depending on your goals, your hair might be going on a very short journey or a very long journey. And I think it's important to acknowledge what that is so that you have a better idea of how much you need to adjust your routine to then take care of it. Because for someone like me, I'm moving about 4 to 5 levels in hair color. I've got like a 6, 5-ish going on up here. These are a 9, 10. So it's not a huge difference for me to go from my natural color to a really light color. But if I was starting with dark brown or even black hair and trying to go to this tone of blonde, there's a whole lot more that has to happen. And when you're making those extra jumps and levels, you're getting more and more of those side effects of lipid loss, cuticle erosion, and the loss of keratin. And if you're watching this before you're getting your hair colored, it's not a bad idea to think about, like, where are your goals in all of this and how much are you willing to change your routine to really care for your hair to accommodate those goals. Because if you're sitting here and you're a level 1 and you want to be a level 10, it's gonna take some changes. And you should probably expect that your hair is not gonna be super long and elastic and shiny naturally. And if you're gonna get any of that shine and healthy look, it's gonna come from some work. But also, if you're already kind of like a sandy brown like myself, means blonde's pretty easy for you. And of course, light blonde is not the only option. If you have dark brown hair and you just wanna go a few shades lighter, that's also an option, and you would also experience less damage from that if you were to do that. Whew. Okay, hair science. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Let's also talk about what happens to your hair as you wear it after bleaching it, because that's a thing too. So after your cuticle has been lifted and put back down, it looks a little worn. It's not its happiest. And because it's then a little bit more worn and a little bit more textured, it can grab onto things like product or pollution in the air or dirt, any number of things, and then become a lot more dingy. So if you've noticed that you get your hair colored blonde and then it starts looking a little darker over time, that can be why. Additionally, we have all the fun stuff that's in our water contributing to hair color as well. It can help to make it brassy or even orange. It can, again, cause more buildup and decrease shine. So there's like a detoxing process that has to happen in order to keep your hair pretty blonde. Because your cuticle has been roughed up and then you have porous hair, that means that you're also going to be dealing with a little bit more frizz and tangling. I've done a whole video on that, so if you want to hear more about that, it's linked above, but we will also cover that a little bit here. And then finally, because of lipid and protein loss, your hair will most likely break a little bit more easily, and so we want to take that into account as well. So those are all the side effects that can happen from lightening or bleaching your hair, kind of a lot. I do want to throw out there that anytime you do a chemical process on your hair, it does mean you're going to adjust your hair care routine. That's why we're making this video, because you have these new side effects that you're dealing with. It's not necessarily a bad thing. Some positive side effects is that your hair's gonna hold the style better. You have more dimension. Probably a hair color that you like a little bit more than your natural color. Lots of good things, but we also adjust our routines to make sure that it looks healthy and is healthy in the process. So how do we take care of it? I think the first thing that you wanna add into your routine is a way to get protein back into your hair. Like we said, this whole process is gonna break down the keratin in your hair and you wanna give it back. This is not something that you have to do every single day, every single time you interact with your hair. Too much protein can actually make your hair brittle. It's a balance. But I do like to have a treatment that I do once every 2 weeks, once every week, depending on how, fragile the hair is, to help replenish any protein that was lost. Additionally, because your cuticle layer may be very open at this point, that also means that things like protein and lipids can just seep back out of the hair. So we're kind of like pushing it all back in as it's trying to get out. One product that I super love for this is the Olaplex No. 3 treatment. I love Olaplex in general, and so, I asked my hairstylist to use it in the salon. I keep using it at home. I've had really great luck with that, so it's one that I feel really comfortable recommending. So, you're adding protein back into your hair. Yes, very important. Next thing you need to add back into your hair are the oils that you lost, because those are gonna contribute to shine and elasticity. Just general healthy looking hair has a lot of oils in it. This is one where it's definitely gonna depend on your hair type. If it's a little bit more fine and maybe it was naturally more straight and shiny before you lightened your hair, you will still really benefit from oils, but you don't have to go a whole lot into it to really receive those benefits. If your hair is a little thicker, a little curlier, it can really absorb a lot of oils and it will love it. It will just it right up. So keep that in mind as we go through this. My actual favorite thing for replacing lipids in your hair is coconut oil. You just buy it from the grocery store, bring it home, pop it in your hair, sleep with it overnight, wash it out in the morning. I would recommend a double shampoo, which is fine. You've got that like oil coating on the outside, so it's gonna keep your hair all nice and hydrated and beautiful and all that. You just gotta get the residue off so that it's not weighing your hair down. And the reason that I like coconut oil is that it actually penetrates through the cuticle and into the cortex, which means it gets to stay in there and do good things. You can also utilize other hair oils that are maybe leave-in treatments or things like that you can just put on your hair whenever you wash it, maybe even daily on dry hair. There's a ton of options out there. All I would say about that is turn the bottle over and make sure that there aren't silicones listed the very first thing. We're gonna talk about that in a second. But if we're really talking about adding lipids back into the hair, I would really love for you to have a step in your routine that does that without the silicone step. So put a pin in that, we're coming back to it. Another great way to add lipids back into your hair is just with a deep conditioning mask. You want one that's meant for moisturizing, because that's what it's doing, it's putting moisture back in. A big favorite of mine is the Briogeo Don't Despair Repair. I've gone through so many tubs of it, it's embarrassing, but it works really well, and I super love it for my hair. It's done a lot of good things, so I had to mention it. Those are two big things that you can do to fix protein loss and lipid loss. I think another good adjustment to make is to make sure that your hair routine is focused around moisturizing. So for me, that means that I focus on having a moisturizing conditioner that I use in my shower every single time I wash my hair, and I use a leave-in conditioner every single time I wash my hair, because that way we're putting more and more moisture on. Now, my deep conditioning treatments like coconut oil or Don't Despair Repair, that's once every 10 days to 2 weeks for me, just depending on how my hair is feeling. I typically just assess how my hair is doing on a day-to-day basis and make adjustments accordingly. And then as far as shampoo goes, that one's gonna depend on you. I would never go for like full-on like volumizing, super cleansing shampoo for every single wash, but I do go a little bit less moisturizing for this shampoo just because I really have to get my scalp clean. And that's why I like to focus on my cellar water shampoos, because they get rid of a lot of gunk and they clean well without being overly stripping. I'll link some shampoos and conditioners that I love down below. And then a leave-in conditioner that I love, I have the Briogeo Don't Despair Repair leave-in conditioner. And I also really love the Living Proof Restore leave-in treatment. That one has done amazing things to my hair over the years. There was a while, like a year and a half, where I was using it religiously and my hair was in such good shape. One of the things I love about Living Proof products is that they do a lot of research and development. So the price tag is higher for them, but you're paying for all the work that went into it. They didn't just copy and paste the same kind of formula with like a few drops of an oil and sell it to you for a whole lot of money. They go through, they do the research, they create their own molecules, and then they give you a product that actually works really, really well. And as far as taking care of hair and doing great things for your hair, I found that brand to be really consistent and great. So that's my leave-in conditioner plug for that one. Next, let's talk about keeping your color looking nice, because there's two things that can happen with blonde color. It can get dingy and it can get brassy, and neither one of those are ideal. So brassy is kind of the easy one to address. It's when your hair gets kind of yellow or orange. You don't want that. That can happen for a few reasons, but I think one of the first things you can always do is use a purple product. Cancels out the yellow, helps to make your hair look brighter and like you just got it colored. One of the things that I really love are these IGK drops. They're just like purple pigment drops that you can put in any product and it becomes a toning product. So you don't have to have a purple shampoo. You can have your shampoo that you put a couple drops in and now it's a purple shampoo, or your conditioner that you put a couple drops in and now it's a purple conditioner. It kind of makes it easier because then you can decide when and how you want to use it, and if you have a formula you already love, it's there. I just like that option a whole lot. But then a couple other things that we don't talk about a lot that can really help enhance the look of your blonde is, first of all, filtering your shower head. It is key because a lot of the reasons that blonde starts to look bad is because of the water that's going on it. So if you filter the water, blonde looks better. And filters don't have to be expensive. Like, you can buy a shower head that has a filter in it, or you can add on a filter. I've purchased them on Amazon before. I mean, it's easy and they're great and I very much recommend it. It can also help just the general health of your hair depending on how gunky the water is in your area. Another thing that I really recommend is detoxing your hair. So basically by that, I mean, you're gonna use something like every 2 weeks max that really helps to pull all the extra gunk off of your hair. So for me, I use a clarifying shampoo that I super love. It's by Malibu Sea, and it's good because it gets my hair really, really clean, but it doesn't leave it feeling like a broom. Because I've definitely used clarifying shampoos in the past that make it feel just so stripped, and for all the reasons we've already talked about, you don't want that. So I love that one, but I also love, from the same brand, they do these little packets that you can buy. They say it's crystals, but it's literally just like a little powder that you mix with water and then you suds it through your hair like you would shampoo. They have a hard water wellness one and they have a blonde wellness. I think that's what they're called. It's off the top of my head. Both great. Again, every 2 weeks max, but it does pull off those extra tones. Especially what I've noticed is it really helps with those weird orange tones that purple shampoos are not gonna fix for you. It really, really helps to get everything looking nice and feeling nice. Because the other thing is that if you have lots and lots of buildup, all those great things that you're putting on your hair can't fully get into your hair. So you wanna make sure that you're cleaning all the little nooks and crannies and getting it all clean so that then all your moisturizing products can work and your blonde can live its best life. And then finally, frizz and tangles. Again, did a whole video on this, and you always want to start treating frizz and tangles by making your hair healthier from the inside out. But let's talk about the out real quick. So there are a whole lot of products on the market that are meant to help enhance shine and make your hair look as healthy as possible. And one way that they do that is by adding just a shiny coating on the outside. And an ingredient that is typical in that is silicone, specifically dimethicone, but there are a lot of other like little cousins to that one out there. And there's this whole like dun 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 thing around silicones, which I can't even fully get into this video, but let's just like take a little bird's eye view of it. So generally the function of one of these products is to kind of smooth over the outside. It kind of fills in the little ridges of the cuticle so that everything is smoother. That creates a really shiny, beautiful appearance, and it means that you won't have as much frizz or as many tangles. So it can be a really good thing to have going on. The thing is that it does seal the hair. So on the good side, it can seal in all those things that you just put in. So if you've moisturizing shampooed and conditioned, maybe you did a deep mask, maybe you did a leave-in treatment. So good, seal it in. Keep all the bad stuff out, that's the goal. The opposite side of that is that if it stays on there, nothing else is getting in. And that's why some people have problems with silicones. My biggest thing is like, first, use it at the end of your routine. If there's like a shine enhancing oil that you like to use or a shine enhancing serum, it has silicone in it, be my guest, just use it at the end of your routine so that you can seal in all the good stuff that you did and not before you put the good stuff on top of it. Second, be aware of how many of your products have silicone right up there at the top, because if it's all of them, maybe not the best. But if it's just a couple, then your shampoo should be able to take care of that. It's kind of like mascara, how mascara kind of coats your lashes and makes them look great, but then you take it off at the end of the day, so it's all good. Basically the same thing. You want to take it off with your shampoo, and then, you know, you can put it on later and enhance the look of things like you enhance the look of your lashes, and it's all good. So that's why something like a clarifying shampoo could be a really good option, or a detoxing treatment, whatever, because that way if there is anything left behind at the end of those 2 weeks, you get rid of it and you're good to go. But I also really like it because you know what? It gives your hair a ton of shine. I have some silicone products on my hair and it looks lustrous and I'm into it. And also, you know, if you've lost little pieces of cuticle shingles, that means the good stuff can seep out of your hair. If you're putting a layer over it, that means it's not gonna be seeping out. So that's kind of my take on that. I wanted to put that in this video even though it's a little bit more complex because I think it can be something that you can use to your advantage when you know how to. So if you know that it's gonna give you a nice pretty coating and it will help seal things in and then you make sure to wash it out, you're good to go. It will really help you with your blonde routine. We've covered a lot. If you want just one more round of extra credit to help take care of your hair, I'm gonna say be gentle with it. Things like having a satin pillowcase or a, you know, fake satin pillowcase. Switch over to a detangling brush that's meant to be gentle on your hair, like the wet brush or a tangle teaser or the detangling brush from Kristen S. All will help because then it's not tugging on your hair so much. Your hair breaks more easily now, so we want to be more gentle with it. On that same vein, put in a leave-in conditioner or a detangler before you brush through your hair to keep it from breaking. And another way to help prevent breakage is to change your hairstyle up. Don't leave it in the same ponytail every single day because that friction is going to wear at the hairs around the ponytail and you'll end up with a nice fun little line of breakage right there. Or any hairstyle that you do can always kind of find one way. So, you know, watch a YouTube channel, maybe learn some hairstyles, keep it mixed up. I think just in general, you want to add in a whole lot of really great things for your hair. Just feed it super well and put some bubble wrap around all the stuff that could hurt it. And you should be good to go. And there you go, those are my blonde hair care tips and tricks. I hope that helps you in your blonde hair care journey. If you guys want a video specifically on my blonde, like what I ask for, what I have, how to ask your hairstylist for something, let me know in the comments down below. If you have any specific questions for that, also leave them below. I'll make sure to take a read through before, you know, I make the video so that I can make sure we get all the stuff answered. That being said, if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit that like button to help support my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join the Braidaholic family here on Kaylee and Melissa. And all y'all can hit that bell icon to be notified every time I post a new video. But that's it for today. Whether you're old or new or a casual lurker, thank you for spending time with me and I'll see you in my next video. Mwah! Bye! Pull it up, pull it up, pull it back. I feel like my hair flip game has gotten stronger. Oh, that was aggressive. Julianne Hough who? I'm on Anna's...